What's up, everybody? Today's Friday, and let's hope I don't break nothing. So, what's up? Today's Friday, and the week is the last day. Whew, it's a long week, but we finally got to it. So yeah, just feel like recording today and taking you on some visits. As you can see, it's pretty early. It's probably about 15 in the morning right now. That's the earliest I probably ever woke up for a service in a while. Usually I leave the house at 8, but an hour early because my house is like an hour and 15 away. I'm going to Athens. So yeah, so that's going to be a fun trip. It's not. It's going to be awful. I hate long trips, man. Especially when you hit over at least the 50-minute mark. It just... But yeah, so I got that. I got a maintenance call really out there. And then I got a couple of service calls back in Atlanta afterwards. That's why I'm kind of trying to start early. So I can just get that Athens trip out of the way and just have them calls in Atlanta and just enjoy my Friday. But that's really basically it. As you can see, I'm back in my truck. It got fixed. It broke down last week, like a Thursday-ish, and then they fixed it Friday morning. I picked it up. They said something about the engine, something went bad. I don't know, but they say it's good now. But at the end of the day, they still told me I'm getting me a new van, I guess you can call it, next week. So stay tuned for a new van, tour and setup. Kind of excited, kind of not, because the new van is pretty small. It's like a mini Transit, and if you can see my truck, it's like a big E-Series, and I got like tons of stuff in the back. So I'm really just worried about how I'm gonna fit all my equipment, filters, components, motors, just a whole bunch of stuff. How I'm gonna fit all that in a mini Transit, because I'm going from a large truck to like a mini little Transit. I don't know why that's what they want to give me, but that's just how it is. So yeah, so let's get this day started, and I'll see you in about an hour and 15 if I don't just turn around and go back home and quit. Let's do it. All right, we're here, and buddy, that was a long trip. That's probably the second longest trip I ever took. I think that was spider web. That's probably like an hour and 20. I think my longest trip was an hour and 40, which was like my second month here. Spider web is all over here. Yeah, 2 systems, 2 carriers. That's a good thing. I'm not trying some of these spider webs off. Oh my gosh. Oh, so hard to get back here. Oh, that's a bush. And back here. I'm gonna look down to make sure I'm not seeing anything. I'm out in Athens, which is kind of not country, but is up northern. It's not from the city, I can tell you that. And usually when stuff isn't from the city, that means it has animals that I've never seen before. So I just finished checking everything. Just wiping it down right now. Everything checked out pretty good. I didn't really want to record. I thought I was gonna probably take a little while. So I just figured I'd just record after I get finished. Because man, this drive back about to be crazy. It's basically 4 hours if you think about it on one job, because it's basically 1 hour there and another hour back, so it's 2 hours, and probably I've been here for an hour. So yeah, so basically 3 hours for one job, which is crazy, but hey, this is how it goes. So we're just wiping it off. Sure, it's not ugly look, especially if we installed it. We always want our units look like they just fresh and new and clean. Everything checked out pretty good. Check the pressures, check the capacitors on both, change the filters inside. And yeah, everything looks good. Like I said, these carriers are easy to check over. That's why I like checking. It's just so easy. Oh man. Whew. But yeah, that's basically it for this maintenance right here. Got some service calls in Atlanta next, so I'll probably go ahead and do those right now. Alright, so we at the next house. Kind of already looked around it. She told me her unit just wasn't cutting on. And first thing I did was, of course, check to see if the furnace was on, which was down there, and it is. And I come back and I'm like, well, let's see, it's a disconnect. Because sometimes both disconnect be unplugged. And guess what? Her disconnect was on. So now her unit is on. This actually isn't the first time this happens. For some reason, a lot of my calls be my unit won't turn on. I go outside and look at the unit, and I had a disconnect turned off or a breaker is turned off, and I'd be like, why is your breaker turned off? Or why was your disconnect put out? Oh, well, I had a guy come out a couple of days ago and do something and had to turn it off. I guess he never turned it back on. I'm like, yeah, sounds like he never turned it back on. So yeah, it's on right now. I'm pretty sure that's probably what the problem was. I'm gonna just check the pressures real quick. Alright, got everything set up. And the unit was kicking on at first. As you can see, it's balanced now. It's doing pretty good, but now it just completely just went out on the compressor. I checked the capacitor. I'm good on that. Checked everything else, and it has to be that compressor. I mean, they told me it was a compressor problem already. And it was like, I'm pretty sure, they told me they pretty sure it was a compressor. That's why I turned it off. But yep, got a bad compressor here. I'm gonna tell them what they want us to do. They want us to just replace the compressor. They just want us to get a whole new unit. Because even they thought about saying getting a whole new unit anyways, and just want to make sure. So yeah, I talked to them about that. Catch you at my next house. Alright, so just finished off with that. I talked to him and he said he basically just wants to get a whole new unit switched out. Oh, buddy, where did that car come from? I went back there to a car. But yeah, so he basically just said it's best just to get a new unit. He really doesn't want to fool with it. It's a house he just bought, and I guess it had problems with it before. He just want to get checked out. So he just said, yeah, he's just gonna just replace the whole thing anyway. So told him I'll send my estimator out and talk to him about pricing and all that type of stuff. Right now I'm on to one of my houses actually got canceled. Well, it didn't get canceled, got moved to somebody else because they need me to go help somebody in the install department put something up. One of our install guys is out, so they just told me to go help put the unit, a furnace in the attic real quick for them. It kind of takes two people to put a furnace in the attic. So I'm about to go do that right now. Oh, all the jumping noise. Is that her? No, that's the person that was at the house. She's on the walk right now. Let's see. But yeah, so I'm on my way there. Then after that, I should have only one more house after that. So technically, it's been a pretty good day. Lots of driving. I mean, man. Like I said, usually when we drive a lot like that, they usually just give us an easy day. Because, I mean, I just spent 2 hours, 2.5 hours on the road, and now I gotta do about another 40 in total. So it's not that really bad, but hey, it's crazy. But yes, that's really what I'm on my way to now. The house isn't that far. I'm on my way there. So yeah, so I'll catch you guys there. Okay, just finished that. I mean, that's just too much. All I do just put the furnace in the closet, but that closet was crazy. Then when I did that, I got a call on my boss telling me she needs some low voltage wire. So that's where I'm heading off to next. Just got finished up out my gas. Just had to drop off some wiring. Now I'm at the gas station getting some gas. Just figured this to show you guys. Still got one more call left, hopefully to my last house. About a 25-minute drive all the way there. Hopefully I should be done. It's been a long day, long day. But it's Friday, that's the good thing. As you can see, I'm sweaty. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I'm at this gas station. This is the slowest gas pump I've ever seen. Like, this is going so slow. Like, man, it's still going. I've been here for like 5 minutes. I'm at my last final house, and it was low on refrigerant. The crazy thing is, I was here about 3 months ago, and it was low on refrigerant also. So, it basically tells me it's a leak somewhere. Got my boss out here. He's got his leak detector to come find it. Turns out I couldn't really record that one. It's crazy. I mean, I had a stalker basically. That guy When I go to a house and I fix on something, usually the customer comes out, he asks us about what you doing, what's going on, you mind about this? We'll look around, and usually I have to be like, yeah, you can look around, just make sure you're a couple of feet away, just so I can have my own personal space, because I really want nobody all on me, because I feel like I'm basically feel like you're my boss. You're not my boss, sir. But yes, basically what this guy was doing, he was like just asking tons of questions, asking me what's going on, what's happening. The original problem was he said his air conditioner took an hour to shut off after it hit the certain temperature. And I'm like, oh, did this just happen? Did this happen normally? He was just like, yo, no, this is the first time it happened. It happened only once, though, and it hasn't happened since. And I'm like, it hasn't happened since. There's nothing I can really do if it doesn't happen. I could go over and check everything for your unit, make sure everything's good. But other than that, I really can't fix nothing if nothing is, broke. And if it happens one time, you're gonna have to just hope it doesn't happen again. He was like, oh, it's just I just need, help. It gets too cold. And I have trouble breathing. I'm like, all right, sir. I understand. Trouble breathing. I don't know. Trust me, I know what you mean. I breathe air also. So he was just like, yeah. So I stayed there for a while. And he was like, and then look, there's water. And then I opened his furnace up, and he showed me some water near the blowers. I'm like, oh, the only way water can get to your blowers is either it's like a leak, but there isn't a leak. I checked the pressures, or the condensation line is backed up. The condensation line wasn't backed up. I told him it had to be the vents in the roof. And I looked at the roof vents, and they was pretty rusty with no caps on them. I'm like, you're probably getting some rainwater from the vents all the way down to the system. And he was like, no, I had those checked out 3 days ago. So I just sat there, and me and him went back and forth for a while, just talking about how that's the problem. And man, he was on me, man. He was not laying up. He just kept saying, it's not this. I'm like, I kind of felt like he just was, testing me, because I'm young, and probably thinks I don't know what I'm talking about. I just feel like he was testing me, because everything I kept throwing out at him, different scenarios, he just wasn't going for it. And at the end of the day, all I really wanted to just tell him was, hey, I can't fix it. It's not broke, so I gotta go. But sometimes, you don't want to tell a customer that, because they, complain on you. So I just talked to him for like a good hour, just telling him what's going on. I just told him, I can give you a new, hard start kit if you want that. And he was like, yeah, give me that. And I'm like, all right. That's usually what you gotta do. Just give him something free. It don't matter what it is. It could be a free filter. He probably would have took it and just say, all right. So that's really what I did. I just changed up the hard start kit. Of course, while I'm changing it now, he asked me a whole bunch of questions about it. And I'm like, man, it's just like I don't know if you just wanted to just bother me today or what. Because, it's Friday, 5:30, you calling us. Since there's a warranty, we have to do it instantly. So, camera drop. But, yeah, that's usually how it goes. It was an emergency call. My boss asked me to, I should not be driving and vlogging, but that's just how it goes. But, yeah, my boss was just like, I mind stopping there real quick. I should have knew something was up, because usually when my boss sends me out to somewhere that he doesn't want to go, it's probably because there's a reason, and I see why. That guy is annoying. So yeah, so I just had to do that. Look at the scenery in the background as I drive with one hand. My company couldn't band, and if I crash, I'll lose my job. But other than that, that's really all. Pretty good. Nice, easy day. Outside of that, about to head back to the office. I don't know, pack up my stuff for next week, even though, like I said, I get my new vehicle, but that's how it goes. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week probably, who knows. Peace. Oh shit, how am I punch the phone?